This video will give you the keys to successfully set up and connect a commercial facility with the variable speed front of hood operator and MyQ Business. We'll break down the process into 3 parts: creating a commercial facility in MyQ Business, preparing the site and installing the hardware, completing the programming of the controller and getting connected in MyQ Business. This video is intended for demonstration purposes only. The procedures demonstrated should only be performed by trained professional installers and service technicians. Safe operation and servicing require that you follow all instructions and safety advisories found in the manual. To locate a trained professional installer or service technician, go to liftmaster.com/locate-a-dealer. Let's dive in. Work with the facility owner to gather all the needed contact information for setting up the database. This includes names and email addresses for all personnel who will be given access to the facility. Next, get logged in so you can set up the commercial facility. Open a browser and head to myqbusiness.com. You'll need to do a few things. They include creating the facility, which includes setting up the subscription, adding the facility owner, and adding all the personnel who will have access to the facility. Let's get familiar with some of the most important screens. Click the plus sign to add a facility. When creating a new facility, several payment options are available. You may use your LiftMaster account number or choose payment via ACH or credit card. If you want to set up a LiftMaster account, click the Create New Account Number button to begin the credit application process. It may take a few days to receive your account number. On the pop-up window, click Create Facility. Select Commercial. Click Next. Fill in all the required information wherever you see a red asterisk. Enter the contact information for the facility manager. Click Next. Select the payment method. For this demonstration, we'll choose Account Number. Fill in the payment details and billing address. Click Next. Confirm the details on the summary screen. Click Create Facility. When the payment method is accepted, the facility will be set up. Now, let's add people. Click to expand the menu sidebar. Click People. You'll notice that you are listed as the only person in the facility. Click Add Person. The first person to add is the customer contact who will be managing and maintaining the facility database. This person will be designated as the facility owner. Fill in all the required information wherever you see a red asterisk. Enter the first name and last. There are 4 roles to choose from: dealer manager, dealer tech, facility owner, facility manager. A dealer manager is a member of your staff who can edit almost everything in the database except billing and credentials. Dealer techs are members of your staff who can only edit schedules and facility details and can set up connections to MyQ hardware. A facility owner has the control to edit all database information related to the facility, including billing. A facility manager can edit almost everything except for the facility itself, the permissions for roles, and they can't view billing information. Choose Facility Owner. Enter the email address. Select Send MyQ Business Invite. The facility owner will get an email with instructions on what they need to do next. The other fields, such as address and phone number, can be filled in but are not required for a commercial facility. There are 3 default access groups: resident, staff, and vendor. Choose Staff. Click Save. Now, add the rest of the facility personnel to the database. These should all be added with the role Facility Manager. Add them to the Staff Access Group. Go to the Facility Access Support site and download and print the site survey form. This tool will become your best friend as you gather information and confirm the site is ready for hardware installation. There are several requirements for installing the connectivity hardware. The 819 LMB MyQ Home Bridge is the preferred hardware. It uses a Wi-Fi signal to communicate with the facility network and a 900 MHz MyQ signal to communicate with the door operators. Each bridge can operate up to 16 doors. Choose a location for the bridge that is at most 300 feet away from each door being operated. Strong Wi-Fi signals must be available where the bridge will be mounted. An outlet must be available to plug in the bridge. Work with the IT staff from the facility to make sure these requirements are met. Refer to the checklist for additional details. Before installing the operator, confirm the following. Make sure the door works. Make sure there is power available. Conduit is installed for wiring that will go from the controller to the motor. Conduit and wiring are installed for connecting photo eyes to operator. Verify that the model of operator you are installing is appropriate for the power voltage at your site. Make sure all wiring adheres to applicable local codes. Let's get started installing the operator. Here's what's in the box: the controller, the power head or operator, the encoder cable, the VFD cable, the mounting plate, photoelectric sensors, the door sprocket, the hoist chain extension kit, the roller chain, hardware, the installation manual with placards and ferrite beads, and the mounting plate template. Before beginning installation, make sure power is disconnected at the circuit breaker. On variable frequency drive operators, the power head can be mounted on either the right or left side of the door, as well as either inboard or outboard of the door. Whichever side is selected, the hoist chain must face downward once the operator is installed. If we were mounting the operator inboard on the left side of the door, the chain would be in the wrong position out of the box. Because the LiftMaster logo should always face away from the door, we need to adjust the housing the chain is attached to. To adjust it, loosen the 3 screws, pull out on the housing, and rotate it to the correct position. Then, tighten the screws. Now the logo faces front and the chain hangs in the proper position. Let's go ahead and complete our demonstration installing the VFOH inboard on the right side of the door. Place the door sprocket on the door shaft, leaving the set screws loose for later alignment. We need to determine if the header plate has holes we can use or if we need to drill. There's a template on the carton that will help with this task. We will do this step with the door in the fully open position to prevent the possibility of installing hardware where it could interfere with the operation of the door. Hold the template next to the sprocket so the vertical center of the template aligns with the center of the door shaft. Position the mounting slots where the turnbuckle spacers will not come in contact with the chain. If there are mounting holes that correspond to these slot locations, you should use these. If not, mark the locations for drilling, making sure the holes are vertically aligned. Mount the turnbuckle spacers to the mounting plate. Do not fully tighten these bolts yet. Mount the mounting plate to the header plate by tightening the header plate bolts to the turnbuckle. Insert the fine adjustment screws into the base of the operator. Identify the holes on the mounting plate for the half horsepower operator. Attach the power head to the mounting plate using the supplied hardware. Finger tighten only. Place the drive chain over the door sprocket and the motor sprocket and determine the correct length. If necessary, remove excess chain links. Use the Master Link hardware to join the ends of the chain. Ensure the path of the chain does not come into contact with any mounting hardware. There are 2 sets of bolts for adjusting the chain tension: the bolts that hold the mounting plate to the header and the bolts that hold the operator to the mounting plate. Adjust the position of the mounting plate and the operator until the chain is appropriately tensioned, and then tighten all mounting bolts. In order to make fine adjustments in the chain tension, turn the lock screws until the chain is properly tensioned, then tighten the operator mounting bolts. Tighten the door shaft sprocket set screws. Now, Let's select the location for mounting the controller. To prevent possible serious injury or death from a closing door, install the door control within sight of the door, out of the reach of small children, at a minimum height of 5 feet above landings, steps, or any other adjacent walking surface, and away from all moving parts of the door. Install the control station far enough from the door to prevent the user from coming in contact with the door while operating the controls. We already made sure power is disconnected at the breaker. Power must be disconnected before installing the door control. Mounting hardware is not supplied, so use hardware that is appropriate for your installation. Attach the warning placard next to the controller. Open the controller by unscrewing at the corners. Wiring must be run through conduit that meets the requirements of local and national electrical codes. Let's take an overview of the wiring connections. We supply 2 cables that connect the motor head to the controller. The VFD cable controls the motor and the brake. The encoder cable transmits information about the position of the door. The installer will supply a 4-conductor cable for connecting the hoist interlock, which is required, and connecting the optional motor thermal, and a power cable controller from your power source. Wiring on each side of the door to connect the photoelectric sensors to the controller. Now, let's talk about how to make the wiring connections inside the control box and operator. Look closely at each wire. They are numbered. We'll start by adding the ferrite beads to the cables. Slide the large ferrite bead over wires 1, 2, and 3. Slide a small ferrite bead over wires 5 and 6. Slide the other small ferrite bead over the hot and neutral wires of the power cable. Starting with the VFD cable, connect wire 1 to U, wire 2 to V, wire 3 to W. 1 yellow-green wire to PE, the other yellow-green wire to the other PE. Check that the factory-installed jumper is present between the L terminal and COM terminal at the brake relay. Insert the hot wire into the 120L connector with the jumper. Insert both VFD wire 5 and the neutral power wire into 120N. Insert the power ground wire into PE. Insert VFD wire 6 into normally open. To wire the encoder cable, orange to 12V, blue to A, white with blue stripe to B, white with orange stripe to OV. Now, let's wire the hoist interlock and the motor thermal. This requires the installer-supplied cable. Note which colors you are using to ensure they are matched at both ends. Hoist interlock connectors are numbered 16 and 17. We will connect our blue wire to 16 and our white with blue stripe to 17. Use whatever wire colors you have available. Motor thermal connectors are 20 and 21. We will connect our green wire to 20 and our white with green stripe to 21. Attach the antenna to the top of the controller. Let's wire the power head to the controller. There are 2 junction boxes on the power head. Junction box A has the LiftMaster logo. Junction box B is the other one. Remove the covers from both junction boxes. As part of the cable routing, we have already routed the cable into the junction boxes with strain reliefs. The VFD cable routes from the controller into junction box A. Connect the numbered wires from the VFD cable to the lettered wires in the junction box A. Using appropriately sized wire nuts, connect wire U to wire 1. wire V to wire 2. And wire W to wire 3. For grounding, use a wire nut to connect the green wire to the yellow-green wire and the shield wire. For the brake solenoid, use a wire nut to connect one red wire to wire 5 and the other red wire to wire 6. The encoder cable and the installer-provided cable for the hoist interlock and motor thermal route from the controller into junction box B. We will use wire nuts to connect our blue to blue and our white with blue stripe to black. We have already installed the photoelectric sensors at 6 inches above the floor and not attached to the rail. Route the wires from both sensors to the controller in conduit. At the controller, combine the white wires together and the white wires with black stripe together. Connect the white wire with black stripe to 27 and the white wires to 28. The hoist chain may need to be shortened. If so, locate the brass-colored link and twist to separate it. Choose another link to break to shorten the chain. Then, reattach the brass-colored link. Install the chain bracket where it will keep the chain out of the path of the door and won't interfere with the cables or the operator. When choosing the location, make sure to take into account the end users who will need to unhook the chain in order to manually hoist the door. Now that hardware installation is complete, reconnect power at the circuit breaker. We'll complete the setup by programming the controller so we can get connected to MyQ Business. The first time the unit is powered on, before programming, you will be prompted to set the profile. Use the up arrow and down arrow to change selections. Press and release the menu Enter button to set the profile. Error E17 will be displayed. Press and hold the Stop button on the front of the controller. You'll be prompted to release the Stop button. Use the up and down buttons to jog the door to the center of the opening. Press Menu Enter. Press and hold up until the door stops moving. You'll be asked to confirm the door moved in the up direction. If it did, press the up button. Press and hold up until the door is in the fully open position. Press Menu Enter. Press down until the door is in the fully closed position. Press Menu Enter. That's it. Limits have been programmed. Let's get connected to MyQ Business. In order to connect the operator, we need to add it as a device in the facility. Log in to myqbusiness.com. If you have access to more than one facility, click the drop-down menu to select the facility you want to update. Click Add Devices. Click the type of operator you've just installed, the variable speed operator. On the pop-up window, click Go to Billing. Choose either a monthly or yearly subscription. Select the subscription plan for the facility. Click the drop-down to choose the quantity of door operators you've installed. Click Proceed to Checkout. Confirm all the details are correct. Click Activate Subscription. On the pop-up confirmation window, click Add Devices. On the Device Management window, you will see that you have no devices. Click Add Devices. Once again, click the type of operator you just installed. Select the type of hub. We are installing the 819 LMB, which uses Wi-Fi to connect to the facility network. Plug in the 819 LMB. Since this is a new setup, the light should be blinking blue. Click Blinking Blue. The hub is now acting as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Go to your Wi-Fi settings and connect to the network name that has a MyQ prefix. Return to the browser window and open a new tab. Type setup.myqdevice.com and hit Enter. Click Start. A list of available Wi-Fi networks will be displayed. Choose the network for the site you are setting up. Enter the network password. Click Next to save the network information. Click Next again to connect to the network. When the hub has connected to the facility's Wi-Fi network, the light on the hub will be solid green. Click Solid Green. You'll see a message confirming connection to the Internet. Click Next. When you see the screen prompting you to download the latest MyQ app, click back over to the MyQ Business tab. Click Next. Type a name for the hub. Enter the MyQ serial number from the label on the back of the hub. Once again, from the Add Device screen, choose the type of operator you just installed. Select the newly connected hub. Click Next. Read through the instructions for pairing the operator. Click Connect. Go to the operator and walk through the programming steps. Open the operator and press the menu Enter button. Use the down button to select Radio. Enter the passcode found in the instruction manual. Use the down button to select MyQ device. The display will return to the radio menu when the connection is successful. Press and hold Menu Enter, returning through the menus until the display reaches the home screen. That's it. The operator can now be controlled through MyQ Business. Before we finish up, let's set up a notification. Click the arrow to expand the navigation menu. Click Notifications. Click Add Notification. Make selections for all items with a red asterisk. A notification can be triggered when a door is opened, a door is closed, or when a door stops before reaching the fully open or fully closed positions. Notifications can be sent immediately or when the event lasts longer than the amount of time you specify. This can be up to 99 hours and 99 minutes. One last thing. Let's program a remote control transmitter. From the home screen, press and release Menu Enter. Use the up button and down button to navigate to radio. Press and release Menu Enter. Learn is selected. Press and release Menu Enter. SBC is highlighted. To program single button control, press and release Menu Enter. On the remote control, press and hold the button you wish to program until the display returns to the previous menu. The device is programmed. Press and hold Menu Enter, returning through the menus until the display reaches the home screen. To clear all programmed remote transmitters from the home screen, press and release Menu Enter. Use the up button and down button to navigate to radio. Press and release Menu Enter. Press the down button to select Erase Security Plus 2.0. Press and release Menu Enter. Press and release the up button. When devices have been erased, the display will return to the previous menu. Press and hold Menu Enter, returning through the menus until the display reaches the home screen. If you have a 3-button transmitter, you may program each button with a different function to open, close, and stop. Follow the same steps to enter the radio menu and program each button on the transmitter as desired. For more information, visit our page for facility access support. Thank you for choosing LiftMaster.